We're going to analyze the brand new world record from Ryan Crouser, and we're going to start right now. All right, so one of the first things I wanted to bring up is that I had this talk with my throwers yesterday. When I have meetings with business consultants, people who I look up to for business ideas and for business analysis and growth, the biggest thing that they say on a regular basis is for you to get to that next milestone, you have to change what you're doing. You just have to change it slightly, and you just continuously do that until, 20 years from now, you're in this really successful spot. And I want to bring up Ryan Crouser. A lot of people don't change their training. They don't change, their thought focus. They don't change the way they implement their training, their technique, or anything along these lines, and they expect different results. This dude's the world record holder, and he changed his technique playing around with a new thought process, with a new means of execution that has led to this throw. So we got this video from Throw Big, Throw Far, one of the best throwing resources out on the internet. I want to just point out too, come on, USA Track and Field or NBC, let's get a little bit better angle of the world record. Not the absolute best angle here, so let's see what Ryan does here. Let's watch this in full speed. Knows it right away. Crouser knows it right away. Let's watch one more time. Okay, and then we're gonna go over all the little details. How patient he is. Patience in positions leads to acceleration. If we're not patient and we don't hit positions, we're not gonna be able to accelerate the implement. So let's see it. This is crazy. 23.58. Think about the fact that 22.58 would have won every single world championships outside of Doha. This is just absolutely mind-blowing. This is so freaking far. And I also wanted to point out, I think the actual results of this competition were severely downplayed. I would argue, after Tucson, when it took 2093 to get 8th place, you could sense something in the throwing community. You knew Tom Walsh was going to this meet, Chuck, all these guys were gonna go. Peyton Otterdall's on fire. This meet, in my mind, might rival Doha as the greatest ever, but let's go over this. So he's coming out of this. Let's watch that wind position, okay? So he's got both of his feet set, okay? Comes back. He's got that level wind here with that left arm, almost directly in line with his right shoulder or right elbow. He's loading here. Notice he's not letting that toe come up, okay? That toe stays in place. He's flat-footed, gets a stretch along that left ab. And now here's where we see, okay? So he's comfortable, he sets here, and then he does that, I think he's calling it the Crouser slide or the Crouser shuffle. He sets as he comes out, okay? So he's getting a little bit more load onto that. That's gonna lead to a little bit bigger stretch, more radius for the implement now. He comes around, and you can see this position here, long right leg. And I want to see, when does he lengthen that right leg? So it's right about here where you start to see it get lengthened as he's about to attack the center. Still flexed there, still flexed there. Now it starts to lengthen, maybe a little flex there now where it's lengthened. Long right leg, okay? Long left arm that's balanced. Okay, now watch his left arm. Opens right here, long. Now what happens? The right comes in. Okay, the left keeps opening, and it opens back to about this dude who didn't get the best camera shot right there, okay? Now you can see the hand sneak back across right here, okay? So we can see this hand sneaks back across, comes across, right? Look at his right foot. Right foot's down. As he's about to ground, this left arm is starting to come back across. Height of the foot, he's at about 90 degrees with the knee. The foot is almost directly in line with his left kneecap. We've been talking about this all the way since back in 2016. A lot of people also will talk about pre-turning that right foot. Crouser does not pre-turn the right foot. Notice where he's landing. Also, a lot of people will say up, out of the back, up, out of the back. Nope, down, down. Watch his right foot. His right foot's elevated, down. Watch the path, down. Just like a sprinter, okay? Left arm wraps, high point with that right elbow. High point with that right elbow. Left leg gets rotational. It's rotational, but linear at the same time, meaning the way I think about it is that he pushes off of that left, possibly. I don't know for sure if he thinks that way, but it's almost like he draws a line in the back and then gets that left down here as linear as he can, and that helps that left side speed. Look at this left arm position, okay? So right here is where I think he's grounded. I can't tell for sure because of the angle, but I'm pretty sure that's where he's grounded. He's got that left arm back, okay, past that right quad, past that right knee, okay? And then what do we see here? Okay, now he's still grounded. Here, right hip comes through, right ankle rotates out, long left arm comes forward, and I want to point out right here, okay? Let's go right here with that left foot. Right foot rotates directly into it, transfers so well, okay? And I want to see here, right foot transfers into that flat right heel reverse. Look how easy he saves that. And that's what's so great, is that his patience is phenomenal. So if we just watch that, I want to say he's moving this foot about maybe a step or maybe a foot and a half there. And he grounds with that left big toe first. And he gets it down right there as his left arm is getting past his right quad. So if we're going to play around with that, we want that left to be down as the left arm is passing the right quad. And then that's going to lead to an even greater stretch. And then that knee comes in line with that foot. I wanted to really analyze that a bit more. And then he just sweeps down, wraps that left foot grounds quickly in this crazy torque position, similar to the position he has in the back. Left knee stays almost entirely bent until right here, okay? And at this point, that's his last point of contact with the shot and with the circle. And then that's where he continuously moves forward with that rapid right side as he rotates around. So the other thing was the Mexican dude dropped a huge bomb as well, 21.88. I hadn't even really thought about that. And then along with Peyton going 21.99. So let's watch from this angle. This is the NBC angle. Boom, gone. Okay, so we can see here. Pickup point seems to be right about this point. You can see he's past the knee with that left arm. And now we're gonna be able to see, thinking back to, right here's where he holds that left. Right comes down, holds the left across. He's not dropping his left, he's holding it level. He's holding it here across. He's not dropping it down below his belly button. I think that's a big factor. And then right there, you can see his whole right side square up as he's patient coming through, and then just hits it. Absolutely hits it. What an unbelievable throw. A couple people had asked me, you know, who's more dominant, Mondo or Crouser? And it's just such a weird argument. I'm glad he got some airtime and he was able to express sort of what he's been doing with that technique, what he's doing with his overall training. And I think that's what I'm interested to see moving forward, is how much does he continue to develop the feeling for this new technique? You know, it's been about, I want to say 5 months that he's been playing around with it. And I think that's the big lesson, is that you hear him talk about what he's doing. And we have the ability, just like football had the ability to learn from someone like Tom Brady for so long. We are so fortunate to be in a time frame when there's so many good throwers coming up, and we have direct access to them on social media. We have direct access to them in these videos and these interviews. And it's important for us as coaches to listen to what they're talking about, listen to their thought process, listen to how they're implementing these things, and then we can educate our throwers, because it's an absolutely phenomenal time to be a throws coach. If you guys need help with your training, head over to throwsuniversity.com. You can pick up a technical analysis or training program. But the most important thing here, the biggest lesson, is that we've always got to look for that next area that we can just make a little bit of a change to improve our overall growth. If you want to drop some bombs, play around with your technique this week, maybe try that Crouser shuffle. Until next time, peace.